Whoa, what's up, folks? Welcome to the third episode of Tales from the Archive on Handelabra Games. I'm Zach from Another Letdown Media and the Adjacent Hex podcast. I'll be your host this evening. Tales from the Archive is the show where we use the medium of Sentinels of the Multiverse, the digital game, to tell a story of some kind. Some will be tales from the actual Sentinel storylines, and others will be totally original or based on previous work. I do try to equivocate them to existing Sentinel Comics titles based loosely on what I hear Christopher and Adam say either on the forum or on the letters page or something like that, or just printed on the cards just to keep things in flavor. There will often be times where I deliberately make a play that may not make perfect sense strategically, but is in keeping in some way or contributes in some way to the narrative we've created. I will do my best to win games, but even heroes fall sometimes, and that just makes for great stories. As with all the shows on the Handelabra channel, we believe in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal is not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, without any more delay, let's open ye olde book of the Multiverse and get this party started. So in today's story, this is one that I made up myself, and is I honestly have to credit my brain trust that I mentioned last week. They did a much better job coming up with the story than I did, but I'm still quite pleased with it. We go to the pages of Cosmic Concurrence, right around about issue 20, in a story arc known as the Age of Metal. I'm not talking, of course, about metal. I'm talking about, like, you know, metal, like the spoon. In the first issue, we find... Well, come on, game. Spinning rainbow. Yay. Okay. We find Deborah Casbett, better known as the hero Unity, working outside Freedom Tower on a new robotic sentry alarm that she and Dr. Meredith Stinson have been developing at Ekin Rubendahl Labs. As she looks up, the Freedom Jet takes off into the sky above. Okay, details that I didn't remove. Scratch that. As she puts the finishing touches on the alarm and goes to turn it on, a squealing of brakes and a small explosion are heard from around a nearby corner. Unity takes a cursory glance around and remembers that her boss, and indeed Mr. Parsons as well, are away escorting a high-risk prisoner back to the block for detainment, and Ms. Montgomery is visiting a contact in Rook City. Abandoning her attempt to install the new alarm and hoping that the remaining members of the Freedom Five are aware of the situation, she hastily gathers up her tools and rushes to investigate the source of the noise. From behind a garbage dumpster, a battered but more or less intact robot rises from the wreckage. Unity helps the robot to what appears to be its feet and begins to dust it off. It wordlessly stops her and points down the alleyway. Your adoption of human compassion makes you weak, Omnitron. Only one person alive could possibly be that concerned with removing weakness. Unity plants her feet and prepares for a fight. As Bunker and Absolute Zero appear on the scene on either side of her. Oh, right at the beginning. Of course they are. Alright, so this story is, of course... Oop, no, not starting in Insula Primalis. Come on. Starting Megalopolis. Thank you, computer. Okay, there we go. And it is, of course, Chokepoint, facing Absolute Zero, Unity, Bunker, and Omnitron-X. Let's get this party started. Once again, I apologize. My camera is still misbehaving. I've reseated it. I've restarted the computer. I've switched broadcasting softwares. And even though this camera is brand new, it's still not keeping up. I'm really upset about that. So Absolute Zero is starting out with a Cold Snap, Coolant Blast, Modular Realignment, and onboard... I can't read that. Onboard module installation. Man. Alright, hang on a second. Oh, you know what? You know, I thought for a minute that it was just like I've got too many instances of the camera open or something weird like that. But I don't think that has anything to do with it. And it's really frustrating me. Give me 1 second here. Oh, it looks like we're just going to have to deal with it again. Sorry, guys. Alright, anyway. Unity has B-Bot, Modular Workbench, Raptor Bot, and Robot Reclamation. Bunker, Auxiliary Power Source, Gatling Gun, Omni Cannon, Recharge Mode. And Omnitron-X, Bioengineering Beam, Reactive Plating, Subroutine, Reset, and Rocket Punch. Let's see what we can do with Chokepoint. Reduce all damage dealt. So either destroy the ongoing card or blast it. I'm going to refamiliarize myself with Absolute Zero here. Getting ready for a fight. Ryan Frost activates an onboard module installation. To find the null point calibration unit. Unity, meanwhile, turns to her portable workbench, which really is just a slab of concrete in the middle of the city, in this instance, but uses it to find parts around her to cobble together. Come on, a Raptor Bot. Lieutenant Vance, meanwhile, begins to charge up the bunker suit's Omni Cannon, knowing that a big blast could help mitigate some of this situation. Having fallen from the sky, or having been slammed into a dumpster by the villain Chokepoint, Omnitron decides to retaliate. And immediately activates a rocket punch. Cytosine, I don't... You may be the only one in the chat at the moment. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah, oh, it may just be behind the... Hold on. I think it's just behind the logo. Here, I'll do this. Give it a second. Marvelous, I'm still having all kinds of technical difficulties. This is absurd. Guys, I'm really sorry about this. This is absurd and really embarrassing. No, it may not have been, but, like, it's still really frustrating. It's really hard to tell a story when things are not working. Because, like, right now, like, I'm so focused on the technical difficulties, I have no idea what's going on in the game right now. Oh. Like, my quality's terrible. This is really irritating and embarrassing. You know... Alright. You know what? Okay, I don't think there's anything I can do about the camera right now. I have literally no... You know what? No, I'm taking the whole stream offline for a minute. I'll be back in 5 minutes once my computer reboots. So, without any more delay, let's open ye olde book of the Multiverse and get this party started. And I do apologize, my camera's still not behaving the way I want it to. But we're just going to sort of work with it for now. As, I mean... Is my ugly mug really that important? I mean, you guys all just want to see the game, right? So, in today's story, we go to the pages of Cosmic Concurrence, around about issue 20 or so, in a story and arc known as the Age of Metal. In the very first issue, we find Devra Caspit, better known as the hero Unity, working outside Freedom Tower on a new robotic sentry alarm that she and Dr. Stinson have been developing at Ekin Rubendahl Labs. As she looks up, something seems not right with the sky above her. As she puts the finishing touches on the alarm system she's rigging up and goes to turn it on, a squealing of brakes and a small explosion are heard from around a nearby corner. Unity takes a cursory glance around and remembers that her boss, and indeed Mr. Parsons as well, are away escorting a high-risk prisoner back to the block for detainment, and Ms. Montgomery is visiting a contact in Rook City. Abandoning her attempt to install the new alarm, and hoping that the remaining members of the Freedom Five are aware of the situation, she hastily gathers up her tools and rushes to investigate the source of the noise. From behind a garbage dumpster, a battered but more or less intact robot rises from the wreckage. Unity helps the robot to what appears to be its feet, and begins to dust it off. It wordlessly stops her, and points down the alleyway. Your adoption of human compassion makes you weak, Omnitron. Only one person alive could be possibly that concerned with removing weakness. Unity plants her feet and prepares for a fight, as her allies Bunker and Absolute Zero appear on the scene on either side of her. So Game 1 finds us in the city of Megalopolis, with our heroes, Absolute Zero, Unity, Bunker, and Omnitron-X, facing off against the villain, Chokepoint. Let's see what happens. Now, starting off, you will notice that I deliberately chose Absolute Zero, Unity, and Bunker because they are Chokepoint's nemesis. Absolute Zero, Bunker, and Unity. Chokepoint says at the start of the game, Chokepoint enters play Ferrokineticist side up. The villain deck is shuffled. Of course it is. At the start of the cards in the area, Chokepoint flips over. Whenever Chokepoint destroys a non-character target, it is placed face down in the villain play area, which is going to be particularly irritating for Unity. Anywho, face down cards in the villain play area cannot be affected in any way. At the end of the villain turn, Chokepoint deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 energy damage. Let's see what we got. Absolute Zero starting out with Frostbound, Drain, Fueled Freeze, Modular Realignment, and Null Point Calibration Unit. Unity starts out with a brace of B-Bots. Love that term, a brace of something. Flash Forge, and Platform Bot. Bunker, our boy, is starting out with Gatling Gun, Maintenance Unit, Recharge Mode, and Upgrade Mode. Omnitron-X has Disruptive Flechettes, Focused Plasma Cannon, and a brace of Innervation Rays. Let's get this party started. Chokepoint deals each hero target... I wasn't able to read that game. Chokepoint reaches her hand out straight in front of her, and a field of energy erupts around all 4 heroes. Ryan Frost prepares himself for the battle ahead and activates the Null Point Calibrations unit on the Absolute Zero costume. Unity glances around, noting nothing except the Null Point Calibration unit to scuttle to make a bot. Sonvar, a brace is in reference to 2 of something. A pair. I actually learned about that in the Warhammer Fantasy 6th Edition Dwarf rulebook, because some dwarf units can carry a brace of pistols. Well played, Cytosine. In reference to a brace of something, the heads-up display on Omnitron's face component shows braces. I kind of don't want any of that. I'm going to double draw here. Unity glances around and starts pawing through a supply crate. Tyler Vance activates the Gatling gun component of the bunker suit and entrenches himself to get ready for the battle ahead. A lot of preparing going on by our heroes here. Ah, yes. Sure. Sensing a weak point, Omnitron focuses a plasma cannon in the general direction of Chokepoint. That's just holy... I mean, there's 3 cards in there. 3 words. 3 little words. Draw a card. Best 3 words in any card game, in my personal opinion. The police arrive on the scene, hearing the blast from the impact of Omnitron on the dumpster. They take aim and shoot Chokepoint in the back with their rubber bullets. I'm inferring rubber here? Oh dear. All these ireful grasps. Ah. Alright, I guess I'll get rid of the calibration unit. Since your ability to heal irritates me, says Chokepoint, effectively neutralizing the... Don't remember what it was. Ducking behind a corner, Absolute Zero activates a cryo chamber that had been hidden in the wall of Freedom Tower. And I really don't want to do... Oops. Well... Opening the supply crate, Unity finds primarily scrap metal, but uses it to create a defensive platform. Defensive and offensive. Tyler turns on the maintenance unit in the bunker suit. It's for later, he insists, as he continues to power up. This Omni cannon could come in handy. I'll try and build up for a big blast. You heroes hold her off. Omnitron beeps and points an innervation ray around at his allies. No, stop doing damage. There we go. Following the police backup, the news reporters arrived, cursing under his breath. Ryan Frost retreats back into his cryogenic chamber. Well, that's just irritating, is what that is. This could be really bad, folks. Someone needs to distract those paparazzi, orders Bunker. Unity says, I think I got something. Hold on. Swapping the Gatling gun for the Omni Cannon. The heroes know that it's only a matter of time before before the bunker suit can go off with a large blast. The Innervation Ray sends healing energy toward 3 of the heroes. Proud of himself, Omnitron immediately plays another. Immediately charges up another. Plays. I can make words. Everybody, distract the paparazzi. Throw something down an alley. Whatever you need to do. Not getting a whole lot out of trash here, so that's gone. This is not particularly useful for... Distracting the paparazzi is not particularly useful for powering up the Omni Cannon, says Bunker. Tell us something we don't know, grumbles Frost. Ugh, of course. Stripping the town of its resources, Chokepoint manages to eliminate the entire contingent of Megalopolis police services, and taking a plumbing monorail with her. Well, that's one way to deal with it, says Frost coldly. Let me try this, says Unity. And hammering on the scrap metal, she manages to conjure out another platform bot. Yeah, that was picked intentionally, Sanvar. Doubling up on those rays was clever, robot. Robot. Tyler shouts from inside the bunker suit. Omnitron beeps in reply and turns a bioengineering beam in the general direction. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that worked. Okay. Turns a bioengineering beam in the general direction of Chokepoint. Now you're making me angry, robot. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, that's not the worst. That worked. Thanks, Ryan, as he hammers on Chokepoint with a frostbound drain. Evening, Dragon 240. Unity glares at Ryan Frost. Stop damaging my robots! They're only trying to help. Get them out of my way, he says. Been better, but thank you for asking. I did just finish this beautiful gaming table behind me, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm doing quite well, Dragon. How are you? One. Heroes, I need to draw... I need stuff to throw in the Omni Cannon. Look around you. Find anything you can. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Oh well. The ability to heal the bots is kind of fantastic here. What's she dealing? She's not. Alright. Oh, melee. Because cramped quarters combat. Yep. Okay, that was a mistake. Oh well. We'll handle it. Chokepoint waves her hand casually, and a building begins to fall over toward the citizens running in the streets. I got this, says Unity. And knocks the citizens out of the way. Foolish heroes. Your leaving all this metal around only makes me stronger. Glowers Chokepoint. Ryan taps a control panel on the wrist of the Absolute Zero suit. Chokepoint looks around as if nothing had happened. Really? She's that irritating? Says Unity as she manipulates some of the metal around her into a construction pylon. Not much longer now, heroes. Keep it coming. Not there yet. Omnitron bleeps in reply and immediately uses the innervation rays to heal up some of his allies around him. toggling something on his arm. Omnitron uses a flechette and impales Chokepoint with it. Then turns on the bioengineering beam one more time. Well done, robot! Cheers on Bunker. You really need to stop talking, mumbles Ryan Frost coldly to himself. She's weak, heroes. We can do this. Oh, whoops. I can read cards. Oh well. It's fine. Damage. Thank you. Almost there. I think... Yes, the Omni Cannon's ready. Firing now. As Bunker unleashes an immense blast toward Chokepoint. She attempts to duck out of the way, but the sheer power of the Omni Cannon is overwhelming and takes her down. Tyler Vance opens the cockpit of the Bunker suit and climbs out. Everyone all right? He asks. Unity scoops up the nearest Raptor bot and carries it over, checking it for dents and dings. Last time we saw her, she was hanging out with that freight train guy. How'd she get out on her own? Before Lieutenant Vance can answer, the video screen on Unity's tablet lights up with a fuzzy view of Tachyon's face. She has a black eye, multiple lacerations, and her ponytail is extremely disheveled. Dr. Stinson? What happened to you? No time, interrupts Tachyon. Knocked course round Mars. I've managed to connect. Get there. That can't be good, says Ryan Frost, venting the coolant on the Absolute Zero suit. What's the play? We go after them. Prepare yourselves. Clearly they're in trouble. Lieutenant Vance seals up the hatch on the Bunker suit once again and begins to move forward toward the elevator to the Freedom Jet's landing pad. But Mars, though? I wouldn't be able to breathe, worries Unity as she hurries along behind. I think that's the least of our problems. So Game 2 takes us to the roof of Freedom Tower. So of course, we will be fighting at Freedom Tower. Our hero team remains exactly the same, and in the same order. But this time, the heroes are intercepted by, well, frankly, an irritation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Wager Master! Let's get it going. It's time to play some games. Can you win before you all die? So fun! Alright, Absolute Zero this time. You know, Dragon, I almost wrote a sub-thread for just in case there was either a game 1 loss or a game 1 win. But unfortunately, I was writing this at work yesterday, and I ran out of time. Oh, my cat has arrived. He sure is a nozzle. Alright, so, Absolute Zero starting out with a Cold Snap, Glacial Structure, Isothermic Transducer, and a Null Point Calibration Unit. Very good start for Absolute Zero. Unity, starting out with a Construction Pylon, Cryobot, so we've just got all manner of Ryan Frost today. Supply Crate, and Volatile Parts. Bunker, Ammo Drop, External Combustion, Gatling Gun, and Maintenance Unit. And finally, Omnitron-X, Disruptive Flechettes, Self-Sabotage, Slip-Through Time, and Temporal Shielding. Let's see what Wager Master's got in store for us today. And Dragon, please don't have cursed us. At the end of the villain turn, if each hero target has an even amount of current HP, and I didn't get to read that, thank you, game. Wagelings. Not all he seems. What are all these irritating... How did they get up here? Grumbles Ryan Frost as he attempts to charge up the Absolute Zero suit. I don't know, just take them down. It really was, Dragon. You're absolutely correct. Attempting to mitigate the damage dealt by the Wagelings, Ryan Frost charges up the Null Point Calibration Unit. Digging around in a supply crate left on the roof of Freedom Tower, Unity manages to find enough parts to build herself, or to repair the Mr. Chomps she was or the Raptor bot she was carrying. Mr. Chomps immediately turns around and tries to mitigate some of the Wagelings, but becomes confused quickly. Let me try this. Oh. Huh. Processing the information, Omnitron attempts to remove some of Wager Master's conditions, thinking he can change the terms of the game. Apparently, computers are not always correct. Oh. Do they not stop? These things are getting incredibly irritating. Grumbles. Frost continues to grumble. Stop griping about it and get your job done. Who died and made you legacy? Oh, wait a minute, that's not... That doesn't... Oh, whatever. Oops. Why are you duplicating me? That seems silly. Trust me, I have an idea. Of course you do. Well, Sonvar, I don't know how familiar you are with the CW... I can't say... Well, okay. Not Sentinel Comics TV universe, but the way I see Ryan Frost sounding is an awful lot like a particular cold villain from a TV show about a red fast guy. So I'm voicing him a lot like Wentworth Miller. Yes, thank you, Dex Show. A cold villain who holds rank. In his own mind, at least. Oh, what kind of damage are the Wagelings doing? Melee? Yep, figures. Excellent. Well, hopefully Omnitron hits on this. And a big whiff. Looking around at the rooftop access, Unity notices that in her hurry to get to Rook City, the Wraith had left her arsenal wide open. Look! There might be cool stuff in here! This could not possibly be more frustrating. I can hardly tell what to hit. Thanks, Cytosine. Whoops. Oh. Ah, yes. Unity conducts her constructive energy through the pylon on the roof of Freedom Tower. This should help, I hope. Oh yeah, they just flip. Gotta go to this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Each target gains 1 hit point. We may actually... win this based on the medical ward if I can deal 1 damage to absolute 0. But I'm not Lewd Dolphin, so I'm not paying attention to that. Good evening, All-Star 64. How are you? Let me see what I'm saying. Yes. I'm noticing now that it's very, very difficult to run commentary on a Wager Master game because everything is constantly in a state of flux. It, sure is a thing. I love Wager Master games, but they are, like, it's so hard to keep track of everything that's going on. And that's the problem the heroes are having right now is the rules, man. Yeah, that one's not fun either. I've had enough of this! Shouts Ryan Frost. Going off with both sides of the Absolute Zero costume all at once. Oh, shoot. Yeah, exactly, Dragon. Keep throwing everything you can at this fellow. He's got to have a weakness somewhere. I still can't understand the rules. What are we supposed to be doing? Attacking his little minions or him? I'm not sure, but I'm running out of steam. Omnitron bleeps and bloops, and still can't seem to wrap his robot mind around the situation that's going on around him. Hold baby. Hold baby. Hold baby. What? Wager Master falls over in a slump.
Dang it, dang it, dang it! You beat me at my own game!
Gotcha! Exclaims Ryan. Sorry. Gotcha! Exclaims Ryan Frost. Now, what exactly were we supposed to be doing there?
Didn't you understand? It's perfectly simple.
I don't care. The shivering form of Wager Master slides down a column of ice toward the heroes. Unity fabricates a set of cosmic dampener handcuffs and attaches them firmly to Wager Master's wrists and ankles. Tyler Vance begins to prepare the Freedom Jet for emergency departure. Wager Master begins to laugh. Omnitron-X tilts his head curiously.
Shut up, you!
Unity shouts.
Oh, you'll never make it in time in that old bucket of bolts. He's probably already dealt with your teammates.
Ryan picks up Wager Master by the throat. What are you talking about?
Oh, you thought I was in charge of telling Chokepoint he was here? No, good sir, that's absurd. He is the real problem.
The red light in Omnitron's eye begins to blink feverishly as Wager Master points directly at him. Unity glares at the blue alien. How can he be in two places at once? I don't think he means him. Omnitron-II attacked us a few years ago. Lieutenant Vance grumbles as he stops working on the Freedom Jet. How do you propose we get to Mars, was it?
I can bring you there if you turn off these wonderful gauntlets,
sneers Wager Master, glaring at the handcuffs. How do you know you won't dump us off in the realm of Discord or something?
A wager is a wager, and I'm a man of my word. I lost. Now I must bring you to him.
Ryan aims a frost blast at Wager Master's head and motions to Unity to remove the gauntlets. Once they are removed, Wager Master sneers up at them and snaps his fingers. In the blink of an eye, the heroes find themselves just outside Wagner Mars base, gasping for air. Unity summons all her energy to create an O2 helmet. Tyler hastily slams the bunker suit closed, and Absolute Zero and Omnitron clamber to their feet just as a huge metallic structure rises up from behind the building. A transparent steel dome on the top of the building reveals Tachyon and Legacy, feebly slamming themselves into the glass and trying to break free. Legacy pauses to shout something unheard by his allies as Omnitron raises an arm to strike. So Game 3 features once again the same team. However, this time they're facing Omnitron. So we're bringing in our heroes here. There we go. Now, I am switching to Golem Unity, indicating that she has some form of a robotic helmet on, providing her with oxygen at this point. And they are, of course, at Wagner Mars Base. Absolute Zero is starting with Focused Apertures, Glacial Structure, Horfire, Thermal Shockwave. Golem Unity. For those who aren't aware, she deals herself damage to put bots into play. In other words, she has to take a component away from her helmet. She has Brainstorm, Modular Workbench, Stealth Bot, and Supply Crate. Bunker has the Flak Cannon, Grenade Launcher, Heavy Plating, and Turret Mode. Bada 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 bada. Omnitron-X, Defensive Blast, 2 resets, a brace of resets, and a Slip Through Time. Let's see what old Big Bad Omnibot has to offer today. He flips over immediately, yay! And Omnitron lashes out with an Electro Pulse explosive. And and from underneath the sand on Mars comes an S-84 automation drone. Really? More small, irritating things? Apparently, fire and ice don't work very well on Mars. Who knew? Turning the nearby rock into a modular workbench. Unity finds a way to build a stealth bot. Same strategy as before, heroes. Build up for something big, says Bunker, taking aim with the Flak Cannon. Omnitron beeps in reply. And resets himself to prepare for battle. Oh, of course he does. Go ham with the resets here. There's the innervation ray. That's a pretty good one. Taking note that the bigger Omnitron has some sort of energy beacon powering the explosive, Omnitron gets ready with the Gaussian Coil Blaster. Of course it is. Oof. Oops. I need more time, says Absolute Zero, freezing the nearby landscape in a glacial substructure, or glacial structure. Take it. We'll do our best, replies Bunker. I can't find enough materials, grumbles Unity, looking around. Hang on, I'll hit something with this. Maybe that'll help. We're taking a pounding, heroes. This countdown could become a problem. Well, it worked before. Absolute Zero continues having trouble. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah. There's not enough raw materials here on Mars. This dust is everywhere. It's getting into my suit. And he keeps repairing himself. This isn't looking good. Just keep trying. We'll get there eventually. This is not looking good, folks. Oh, great. What's that? Are you sure that's not your fault? You're the one who usually deals in fire. I promise it wasn't me. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold out. I'll agree, this is not fun. Just keep trying, heroes. We're trying as hard as we can. Absolute Zero did not get off to a good start here. The eyepiece in Omnitron's head starts flickering. Maybe this meteor storm will cover us while we heal. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It doesn't matter. Drone is... is going to be an interesting one, folks. The heroes are worn down, and they're not much for talking. Of course. I'm building absolutely everything I can, but I'm falling apart. Your bots are doing good work. Keep it up. Bunker continues powering up the Omni Cannon, in the feeble hope that the heroes can collectively put together enough damage to make it worthwhile. Gonna need some serious luck here, folks. Oh gosh. This could be it. Oh no! So bad. Oh no! What happened to the Omni Cannon? I think he took it away from you. Ah! Yep. Omnitron, kinda wrecked us. I think we took a little too long to get built up. Sure did, Deck Show. Oh, well, that wasn't what I intended to do, but... The heating system, the heat removal system on the Absolute Zero suit malfunctions and accidentally deals Ryan Frost extra fire damage That awful red dust is back. Avoid it. It's everything I can do to keep this Absolute Zero suit from falling apart. I have the feeling we're not going to be getting any powers back. I can use this to plug this oxygen leak. Good gosh, guys. I can't tell if we're actually making any... I can't tell if we're actually making any progress. This is worse than we were fighting that blue fellow. At least the suit still works partially. Like, at some point... Yeah, absolutely. Like, at some point, either... like, something just really bad has to happen, or we just wheedle Omnitron all the way down. Reset. Oh, I do have... wait a minute. No, I need the Disruptive Flechettes. Get rid of some of these. Like, I feel like we're actually kind of getting some... Oh, well, that didn't... What's preventing it now? Is it... Okay, yay. But, like... Yes, deck show, but I think we reset at some point. Yeah, so this knocks out Absolute Zero. Can Omnitron do it himself? Yeah, yes, Cytosine, absolutely. There it is. Okay, there's the game, folks. Falling to the ground in a smoldering heap, Ryan Frost rubs his visor clear of the accumulated frost. They had failed the citizens of Earth, and indeed their friends. As the rampaging robot Omnitron disappeared over the horizon, the heroes knew this was only the beginning. Ryan activated the distress beacon built into the Absolute Zero suit, hoping against hope that someone had seen it and could possibly come to their aid. This far out, he had no idea who that somebody might be. Yeah, that was one heck of a game, and I apologize. It's like when you get that deep into the think tank, it's really hard to commentate. However, as per every single Tales from the Archive, comic books have what is called a backup story, and the backup story in this particular series, The Age of Metal, was the story of how what Legacy and Tachyon were up to when they got captured by Omnitron. So the backup story is called Capture Protocol 7.3.2, and it stars Legacy, the super scientific Tachyon, and a bit more unusually, Captain Cosmic. They will be fighting Kismet, who was the high-profile criminal that they were transporting in the first place. And I do have a little bit of backstory, so hold on. At, of course, the block. Now, Legacy and Tachyon were put in charge of transporting the criminal known as Kismet back to a cell at the block. Their mission, as it stood, was to rendezvous with Captain Cosmic. Oh, I'm sorry. Not at the block. Their mission, as it stood, was to rendezvous with Captain Cosmic at Wagner Mars Base for prisoner transfer. However, when they arrived there, the Mars Base was not as it should have been. Instead, it was the beginnings of Omnitron. I'm trying to remember if there was supposed to be one other hero or not. I tried to use 4, but now we'll go with 3. Because I can't remember who my 4th was supposed to be. So Legacy is starting out with Bolster Allies, Heroic Interception, Lead from the Front, and Thok. Tachyon is starting out with Blinding Speed, a brace, that's our vocab word for the day, of Light Speed Barrage and a Synaptic Interruption. Captain Cosmic, of course, starting out with Destructive Response, Dynamic Siphon, Sustained Influence, and Vitality Conduit. Sorry, checking something quickly. Sorry, Cytosine. Kismet immediately activates her power. Well, I guess it has to go to Tachyon. She's in the card art. Brace for when the screaming starts. Heroes! She's escaped. Collect her back, and we'll safely return her to the block. And enter the brace puns. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do there. I wanted to do that. But Tachyon immediately trips over the left feet curse that Kismet has put on her. What the heck? How did my feet get this way? Don't worry about it, says Captain Cosmic, summoning a vitality conduit. Antediluvian. Now there's... Antediluvian? That's an odd one. Captain Cosmic turns around and gives Legacy an augmented ally. Here, use this. It may come in handy. I don't have a voice for Captain Cosmic yet. I should really do that. The Omnitron environment puts together a partial Omnidrone. That's new. Marvel's Legacy. Your conjurations aren't doing a whole lot. Tachyon grumbles at Captain Cosmic. Hold on, I'll work on that, he says. Heroes, hit her as hard as you can. There's nothing stopping you now. Yeah, except for this foolish curse that's slowing me down. You'll notice that Tachyon is actually not speaking quickly because, of course, this curse is slowing her worse than molasses. With blinding speed, Tachyon manages to shake off the curse. There. That handles that pesky obnoxiousness. Good move, Meredith. That was Legacy saying that. If she's going to destroy all of the constructs, I'm going to destructively respond. Incidentally, out of story for a moment, I absolutely love Jean-Marc's music in this level. So cool. Kismet has gotten angry. She's angry. Anger makes you weak, says Legacy as he strikes Kismet in the face. It's very true, Cytosine. Oh, that's kind of cool. Redirect pushing the limits to Kismet. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case, Cytosine, but, you know, it's pretty rad. These jinxes are extremely annoying, grumbles Tachyon. Oh, it looks like we're discarding the Lightspeed barrages. That was not well thought out. Oh well. Let's hope we can get those back. I feel like I just forgot how to deal damage, says Tachyon to herself, pausing to eat an energy bar. Try this then, says Captain Cosmic. It'll deal damage for you. If it's possible, the Omnitron environment started to look grumpy. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Tachyon shouts. Hey, Lewd Dolphin, nice of you to join us. We had a little bit of trouble with the stream early on. And, I'm sure you saw my post earlier, but things are going much better now. Well, things went well for the first couple of games, and then unfortunately our heroes lost the big finale. But this is the backup story, so yay, backup stories. Well, I mean, to be fair, Lewd Dolphin, like every other week I'll be able to watch your stream. So, man. Alright, well, we're going to go with this one. Well, I hope at least you guys are enjoying the storytelling stream. It's a lot of fun to write these. It's a lot of work to write these. Uh-oh. Has it taken this long for the sound to mess up? I can't quite tell, because, like, Omnitron's environment music is very much like that, but... Captain Cosmic tries valiantly to keep Tachyon from... falling to Kismet's curses. Omnitron's been ruining everything tonight, Lewd Dolphin. Although Omnitron-X did an incredible job in the last game. He was so close to just hanging on and and dealing like a bazillion damage, like 2 at a time. But such is life. Can't always win them. Can't win them all. I can word. Sorry about the noise, folks. I'm planting this flag in this robot for justice. Oh, thanks for the setup, Cytosine. Yes, I will grab my brand new gaming table for support. Ha! Take this! Yes, so one of the things about the gaming table is hopefully for one of the, I don't know if that's going to be an official Handelabra stream or something on my channel, but I'm going to put a camera up over the top, hopefully one that's better than this hunk of baloney, that faces downward so I can stream like actual real worlds or real tabletop Sentinels, which I thought would be really cool. Yes, her idea was stopping security lasers was to run straight through them, because everybody knows that you can, if you vibrate at the correct frequency, you can phase through the speed of light? Who knows? Yes. Keep doing what you're doing, Cosmic. This seems to be working. What? What? You're telling him to keep blowing up his little conjuration things? I guess it makes sense. Science doesn't explain them anyway. I'm quite sure that's accurate, Dragon. Or either that, or he did it and something like caused it to not work, or like go into the future, or some bad thing happened to him when he tried to do that. Who knows? The Omnitron environment really hasn't done a whole lot. Glass jaw, okay, well. My jaw feels funny. Shake it off. I'm sure you'll be fine. Here, take this. For justice! You know, shouting at us and trying to shouting at us and inspiring us verbally is all great, is great in all Legacy, but couldn't you do something that actually causes... You know what? Never mind. HUD goggles. Well, sure. This should clean up most of this mess. I love how every time Captain Cosmic destroys something, he immediately puts that back out. Okay, I think Legacy... Guys, I think this environment's about to overcharge its systems. I think if we, maybe get rid of some of our stuff, we can probably mitigate this. I've got it! Hold tight, team! Right, well, that works. Wait, now my jaw and my arm feel funny. Good thing I'm not using any guns today. I'll deal with the environment, heroes. You deal with her. Get her back into custody. Here, let's try this. Yes, do that. Perfect, Meredith. Excellent job, team. I'll take her from here. Yes, thank you, Captain. We'll transport her safely to the block, and we'll rendezvous back on Earth as soon as you can get there. Oh my gosh, the audio. As the dust settles and Captain Cosmic begins to transport Kismet to the block. Sorry, I didn't actually write the end of this, which was a mistake. The environment begins to cave in on itself. A hatch at the very top opens. Thinking this is their way out, Legacy uses his power to fly up and impact upon the ceiling. Tachyon speeds around and around and around in circles to levitate herself as well. As they reach the top, a floor seals beneath them. They were trapped. Legacy slams with all his might against the transparent steel roof, but Omnitron has prepared for this. They are sealed in, trapped. As Legacy pauses for a minute in his desperation to escape the room they're being held in, he notices a team of Absolute Zero, Unity, Bunker, and a strange-looking robot appearing on the surface of Mars. He shouts, "Get out while you still can! Summon the rest of the heroes!" But it's no use. From over the horizon, a detachment of Omnitron robots moves over the transparent steel dome. Legacy looks on in horror as the Omnitron robot attacks his friends, rendering them all but helpless. So that's pretty much it for Tales from the Archive today. I expected the Wager Master fight in issue 2 to last a little bit longer, and Absolute Zero to get a little bit less frustrated than ultimately he did. But such is life. So since we have a little bit of time left, I do write all the story threads for each of my Tales from the Archive stories, and so I guess I can, if people are interested, I can read or at least summarize what I wrote. I don't know, chat, what do you think? Oh, twitched away. Actually, you know what would be a good discussion topic for between. Okay, so I will definitely read the other story threads, but if anybody has any suggestions as to how I should post these, because I do want to start doing that, either post it in the chat, that'd be fine, or just hit me up on Twitter or whatever, because I'm more than happy to post these. So game 1 was once again Unity Bunkers, Absolute Zero, and Omnitron-X versus Chokepoint at Megalopolis. We won, so you heard that story thread. If they had lost, it would have been something to the effect of laughing maniacally. Chokepoint moves herself closer to Omnitron-X, arm outstretched. All this power, and to think I've been focused on military tech all this time with you running around. Omnitron's eye blinks feebly as the villain approaches. Terrified for the fate of her new ally, Unity cobbles together one last B-bot from a broken-off chunk of the bunker suit and orders it to destroy a nearby dumpster, knowing that it could only buy her seconds. The dumpster falls, but suddenly stops in midair. Unity looks around and notices that everything around her has stopped moving. A billboard above flickers back to life. Looking up, Unity sees what appears to be something out of a 1960s game show. A squeaky voice trying its best to impersonate Bob Barker. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Hostage, the only game show you should be watching. A small, creepy-looking man with large teeth and blue skin steps out holding an antique microphone. Wager Master, curses Ryan Frost, venting the coolant on the Absolute Zero suit. My name is Jonathan Lever, and tonight's special guests are some of the greatest heroes the planet Earth has to offer. They don't know it yet, but we've captured 2 of their friends and allies. They only have moments before the toxic chemicals we're pouring into their cell take them out of commission for good. Let's hope their friends are watching, because the only clue we're giving is this. A god of Rome rode far from home on a horse as red as fire. The dust he found blew all around and was causing his mount to tire. On your feet, team, orders Lieutenant Vance. Wager Master loves chaos. He's never far away from something he's causing. He closes the bunker suit, just as a heavily tampered Revacorp NDP floats past a nearby building. And what that would have done is effectively swap the Freedom Tower environment for a mobile defense platform instead. Some of the different story threads do change up the way that the games play out a little bit, but not usually in any significant way. So if they had lost the battle with Wager Master, I would have read, cackling and dancing about, Wager Master begins to sing, "He's coming, he's coming." The screen that had previously showed Legacy and Tachyon in a cell suddenly crackles back to life, showing their unconscious bodies on the ground in a cell. Or in the cell. You'll never get to Mars in time to save them now. Unity crawls toward the decrepit form of Omnitron, taking advantage of Wager Master's distraction with his own success. Pouring all of her energy into the robot, she manages to reactivate it just as the sky darkens over Megalopolis. Wager Master suddenly quiets, and with an audible pop, vanishes into thin air. Citizens run screaming through the streets as buildings begin to fall. Tyler Vance climbs out of the broken form of the bunker suit, instructing Ryan and Deborah to hold the line while he finds an unbroken suit. From over the top of the building, a massive robot form emerges, crushing building tops and indiscriminately as it proceeds. Battered and broken, Unity, Absolute Zero, and the newly fabricated Omnitron-U prepare for the end. So the team would have been Omnitron-U and GI Bunker in that case, forcing Tyler Vance to bring back to life the old the GI Bunker suit, even though it's not maybe as technologically advanced as the suit he had been piloting previously. It was what he had available. And then it would put Omnitron, the final Omnitron fight, back in Megalopolis. Now, if the heroes had won the battle with Omnitron, which admittedly they were fairly close to doing, it would have been, as the dust settles, a red and white blur speeds toward the heroes. It comes to a halt nearby, revealing Dr. Meredith Stinson, the hero known as Tachyon. Unity, relieved to see her boss and mentor, throws her arms up for a hug. Dr. Stinson pats her uncomfortably on the shoulder, and then speeds off to continue cleaning up the mess left in the destruction of Omnitron. From above, Legacy descends to offer his congratulations to the ragtag group of heroes. "We'll have to do a better job removing these parts from each other next time." With a sigh of relief, Unity summons up the remains of her various bots and goes back to work on the alarm system. So anyway, that's a little look into my writing process. I work one day a week at a comic book store, and it's really not all that busy. So in a lot of the time, so I have some time to write. Anyway, I guess that's gonna be it for tonight. I'll have to do a little bit better job writing longer stories and or more backup stories for next week. I do some of the stories in my strictly not Wraith book are one shots, like things I could do in one sitting, but I'd have to write. I need to write them. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast of Tales from the Archive on Handelabra Games. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share our channel on social media and in person. You can follow Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as Handelabra Games on Twitch. If you want to see more content from me, including the Adjacent Hex podcast and the occasional sketch comedy video, Facebook.com/Another Letdown is the place to be for that. Give us a like. If you have story submissions for me to tackle or just want to say hi, hit me up on Twitter. My name is @DENONCZD. I also do live streams of other video games, primarily Gears of War and Earthfall, but we're looking to add more content very soon on my team's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Another Letdown. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, and PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always in good old-fashioned cardboard and ink. You can get the game and more info at sentinelsdigital.com. As always, thank you so very much for tuning in. I'm so sorry about my camera problems. I really don't know what's going on with that. Don't forget, and I didn't mention this at the top of the stream, but Tales from the Archive will be broadcast on Sunday next week, because Saturday is Free Comic Book Day, and I have been asked to work, at the comic book store until something like 11 at night, so I will not be able to be here to broadcast. But I will make up for it on Sunday with another awesome story. Until then, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.